Hello everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings here, still not a licensed physician, still never giving medical advice. I am working on getting licensed. That's why I'm going to medical school. I hope I learn some stuff, but mainly it's to get licensed. And then I can say I am a licensed physician, and this is not medical advice because still can't give medical advice on YouTube. So this is a video on studying and doing well in medical school. Number 1, sleep. Number 2, eat. Number 3, exercise. And let's just say water's also important, but I was kind of thinking of that when I said eat. But yes, drink water too. So sleep, eat, drink, exercise. And you've got 80% of your job done, 90% even. Let's say 80%. And then you have to go to school. Try to stay awake and focus. It may be tempting to just look at your phone. It might be hard not to just fall asleep even if you had enough sleep because it's not necessarily exciting. That's the reality. Like, I'm somebody who loves medicine, biology, chemistry, and the human body. Medical school is not always very exciting. I mean, luckily for me, it's like I already know most of the stuff, so it doesn't matter if I sleep. Like, the way I think about it oftentimes is like, I may as well be on my phone in class. That way I have more time after class. Because if I already know what they're talking about, why should I? There's no point at trying to learn something you already know. You may as well use your time on something else. Like, I don't know, maybe I can find something productive to do. Like, I don't know, I can't work out during class. If I could, I would. Yeah, so I'm a little bit different than most students. Not to be arrogant, but I already know most of the stuff. But yeah, even in classes where I know none of this stuff, like histology class, I have not studied what different tissues look like under microscopes. Probably I should have, but it's something I never thought to do. So stay awake, pay attention, and take a little bit of notes. If you take too many notes, you're not paying good enough attention. You may go, but if you're taking notes, you actually remember the stuff that they talk about. If you're focused on trying to write down everything, your brain is working less to hear and understand the information and more on just copying the words. And that comes back to something I think I've mentioned in YouTube videos, that there's a big difference between learning and understanding and memorizing words and being able to recite words. I do not try to memorize words. I try to just absorb the information and let my subconscious make connections, and then I make connections on the conscious level, and I integrate it into my overall understanding of biological systems, which is based on chemistry, by the way. You need to have a really good, strong core understanding of chemistry and then learn more biology. I mean, you can try to just learn, you can't just learn the biology. If you don't know the chemistry, you can't understand the biology. If you only know the chemistry, well, you're pretty good, but the human body works on a larger scale of very large molecules that you don't tend to learn about. I mean, I considered it all chemistry, but yeah, it was a shock to me when I realized, oh, I actually like biology. Like, I've always considered almost all of it's chemistry, like what is considered molecular biology or microbiology. I just call it chemistry. Well, I mean, I called it chemistry most of my life, but it's actually molecular biology. So yeah, getting back to how to succeed in medical school. So I guess that's a good point. Learn chemistry before medical school. Understand it. Learn biology. Now, how much you learn in school, yeah, that's great. But ideally, you've been learning on your own and also just reading tons of medical studies for ideally a decade before you go to medical school, but maybe 5 years, because hopefully you've been learning on your own and stuff for 5 years. Probably most people, that's not the case. Sadly, most people, by the time they graduate their first university, have read 10 medical studies. because they had to in a class. I remember I took a class that was on how to read medical studies. And people were like, oh my God, we've got to read like this whole study before tomorrow. Like, what are we going to do? So, it took you like 3-4 hours to read that, and you think it's a big deal to do before tomorrow? Like, that's a real problem. And I don't skip parts. I just am able to read quicker and understand what I'm reading, whereas other people, because they have lower intelligence, haven't studied for years and years and years on their own, in addition to in school, and have not read medical studies for years and years and years, it's very time-consuming and difficult for them to read a medical study. And it's crazy. I mean, this is like your morning newspaper. Like my whole high school, all my high school years, every morning I woke up in the morning and read medical studies and scientific studies also. I got home, I read medical stuff. Not because I just said, oh, I need to read 20 minutes of... No, I didn't decide that. I liked it. I woke up in the morning and I wanted to read more medical stuff. Whatever was on my mind, I read medical studies related to it. So yeah, that's the real key, is what you do before medical school. But then when you're in medical school, just stay healthy, stay awake, pay attention, and write down some key things that you know you aren't going to be able to remember, and you need to write it down and look at it a few more times so you remember some certain term, because sadly you do need to know the words. Like, I lose a lot of points, and I've always lost a lot of... Well, it was a little bit different reasons. But like in medical school, I often lose points because I know the stuff. I just don't know the words I use for it. I don't care. Grades don't matter to me. What matters to me is knowing the stuff and getting the diploma. So what else can you do to succeed in medical school? I mean, part of being healthy, I would say, is don't eat much while you're at school. I mean, the other students, they're not obese or anything. Like, actually, some of them are very thin. Actually, the ones that are very thin aren't eating very much during school, so perhaps that's why also one of the guys who's very thin only eats at school, at the school cafeteria, and doesn't eat anything else. But yeah, don't get in the habit of eating cookies constantly all day long, like to stay awake in class. No, it's not really helping you to stay awake very well. Like, yeah, a little bit, yeah, but drink coffee. Like, I don't like coffee that much, but it's a lot healthier to drink coffee to stay awake than to constantly eat cookies. Drink enough water while you're in class. Make sure you stand up often enough. Walk around the halls. Like, you may think this is a joke. Oh, you're just a fitness guy. There's a reason I do really well in, like, everything I do in life. And I don't try to do, like, as good as humanly possible because I believe in balance. And, like, I don't have an interest in getting the best grades. I have an interest in having the best knowledge. Like, who cares if I memorize the name of something, if I understand how... Oh, good example. What was it? Yeah, there was a question on, like, what is it called when you put DNA into bacteria? Something like that. And, I mean, to be honest, like, I still don't remember the exact name. It's, like... Transformation. I remember it now. I wrote transfection on the test. Or exam. Yeah, I don't know. Test or exam. Not important. And while I don't claim to be the world's leading expert in this, and I have not done it thousands of times, like I have actually genetically modified bacteria, it's not that complicated, I know how to do it. But other students who read inserting DNA into bacteria is called transformation, and they memorized that. Like, oh, when you put DNA in bacteria, transformation. They got the point. And I, who have actually done it and fully understand how to do it and could, like, draw it out for you and explain it to you, I did not get the point. I guess don't cause problems with your professors. I had problems with my professors in my normal university, even while trying my best not to. That was because I went to a very liberal university in California where a lot of people hated white people. It's the honest truth. You can go, no, it's not. I don't care. It's true. It happened. I failed class for being white. The professor spent 65% of his time every class talking about how much he hated white boys. Most of them hate old white men. This guy, who was a young white guy, hated white teenage boys more than the old white guys. And I was a white teenage boy, and like I always asked, like not for this reason, but I was curious about my grade. You didn't get grades, you only got a final grade at the end of the course. And I would always be like, hey, am I doing pretty good? Like, well, how's it going? Like, do I have anything to worry about? He'd be like, no, you're doing great, don't worry about it. And failed me. All the other students were surprised, considering most of them were foreigners who could hardly speak English, and I wrote the best papers. Maybe someone wrote better papers than me in the class, but like, out of all the people, I was at the very top of this writing class, and I failed it. Technically, I didn't get a F. I got a D minus, which is still a failing grade, and I had to retake the class. But let's get back on topic. Don't have problems with your professors. For example, I had a professor that, luckily, she doesn't make you wear masks anymore, but when she got sick, she wanted everyone to wear a mask. And she's like, see why we all need to wear masks? Like, well. And then ironically, she's like, and I got sick from my niece or something, or my granddaughter, who I didn't wear a mask around. It's like, well, see, like how much it helped you to wear a mask every day at class when you go around your family and get sick from your family. I don't know, think what you want. I wore a mask for a few days. I mean, also because I didn't want to get sick from her. It's like, why not? I'll kill two birds with one stone, reduce my chances of getting sick from her, and not make her angry at me. But then I stopped wearing. I mean, she was still sick, but I decided, she's not as sick anymore. Like, yeah, I'm not. Even when she was really sick, I just decided I normally sat right next to her. Like, I'll sit a little bit further. Other people that are not my professors, who I should still probably be careful with because they're higher up administrators at the school, when they tell me to wear a mask, I just say, the name of the president here is Lukashenko. I say, Lukashenko says I don't need to wear a mask. We only need to wear a mask if we decide to. And they go, it's the rule, blah, blah, blah. It's not the law. Lukashenko says we don't need to wear masks. He's the president. I listen to him. Yeah, I could still get in trouble probably by not listening to the high-up school people. A risk I've taken. So yeah, sleep well, sleep enough, eat healthy, but not too much, drink enough water, get enough exercise, stay awake in class, pay attention in class, and take a minimal amount of notes on the most important stuff that you know you're going to have a hard time remembering. And do not piss off your professors. Do not, do drugs in class and get kicked out. I mean, actually, you can't drink alcohol in class either. I don't know if you'd get in trouble for it. And who knows, maybe if you're in California, you wouldn't get in trouble for using drugs in class. Not that those are things you're really wondering about, but I had to think what could really screw up your time in medical school? Don't get arrested outside of class, because that will also screw up your time at medical school. Don't get trapped outside of the country, with all this coronavirus stuff, and now in Europe with Ukraine stuff. Other classmates of mine, they all left for a couple weeks because they freaked out about this Ukraine war, military operation, whatever you want to call it. And they all left. I stayed here. What I was thinking is if you leave, maybe you can't come back. But then the sad thing is, if all the other students left and can't come back, they're not going to have class just for me, most likely. So I'm still in trouble. Yeah, no other students in my class currently here. Just me, because they freaked out. Another thing is, don't freak out. Remain calm. Don't freak out about your exams. Don't freak out about, oh, this is so much. Like, stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your energy. Stop wasting class time. Stop it. Just relax. Realize it's gonna be okay. Realize that, like, people do this. If other people can do it, so can you. Realize that it's not that hard to pass the classes. So yeah, even if it's a lot of stuff, even if it's like, oh my god, how are we going to do this? Well, you don't need to get 100% in a class. I mean, hopefully you learn whatever is important to learn. You may be going, everything in medical school is important to learn. Maybe not. I already know most of the stuff, so it's like, how can I really know whether it's... Yeah, I kind of do know, since it's like, well, this stuff you don't really ever use. One example, although I think it's very good to, it's good to know everything. Like, I'm someone who likes to know everything. But say you're a normal student who has to prioritize what they learn, and you have a class on parasites, and you live in a first world developed country where, like, nobody gets parasites, you can probably forget about the parasites. Now, if you live in Asia or Africa, probably should study parasites and remember all the details. But also, you have to be logical. Now, I know there are different medications for different parasites, but a lot of the parasites are all dealt with the same way. So if you take the same medication, regardless of which of these parasites it is, why do you really need to know which parasite it is if you're going to do the same thing regardless of which parasite it is? Hope that makes sense, because if it doesn't make sense, you might want to rewind, re-listen, and think about that again, because it really shouldn't make sense to you. Try to enjoy your time at medical school. Have a hobby. I don't have time. You have time. Find the time, because if all you do is go to school, come home, go to school, come home, you're not going to be having a good time. If you're not having a good time, your performance suffers. Also, have an extra good time. Go out and party. If you're single, find some of the opposite sex and have some sex. If you're in a relationship, make sure that relationship is good. Because, you gotta make sure your relationship's good. That's like in your whole life. You don't want something at home taking away from your performance elsewhere. Keep a light spirit. Like I said, relax, take it easy, stop worrying, go to school, and just go through the day. Don't get stressed out. Don't, oh my god, well then test this, and test that, blah, blah, blah. How many questions are there going to be on? However many questions there are on the test is how many you're going to do. It doesn't matter if you know how many questions there are or not. Even if you know, what are you going to do different? And also, there's a big difference between like really easy questions and really hard big questions. So just go, how many questions are there on the test? It doesn't tell you anything, and even if it could tell you everything, it doesn't make a difference. So don't worry about things you can't control. Stop asking about every detail of every test, just go to class, pay attention, come home, take care of yourself, study a little bit, go back the next day. When it's Friday and the weekend, party, have fun, do whatever, walk around in the forest or walk around in the desert or jungle, wherever you are. Go to the beach. There's a life outside of school, and people go, oh my god, I have no life. And like, it's funny, if you watch like YouTube medical videos, you'll be like, oh, I know how it is, like there's no life. It's like, yeah, because you're pathetic. Like, I know that's not nice to say, and that's a topic for a different video, is how our world has been obsessed with niceness. and it's like trying to guilt trip people into believing things that aren't true. It guilt trip people into not saying things that are true. Guilt trip people into not like doing things they should, and like trying to convince people that they're not nice or not good if something. But yeah, you're pathetic if you have no life outside of school. That's reality. Now, if you have school and work, which is pretty hard when you're in medical school, yeah, of course you can't do much else. But if you just go to school and you have no job, you should have some sort of life, like have some hobbies, do some stuff. I've even thought about like what if I travel to some different cities, but it's winter time, not very good for. It still could, but yeah, I'm focusing on other stuff for now, and I'll travel in the summer. I'm learning MMA, I'm working out, preparing for a bodybuilding competition, I spend time with my fiance, I learn more medical stuff on my own outside of school. I'm doing enough. Hope this video helps. I know it's not like traditional video on how to do good in medical school, but this is really the truth. Sleep enough and sleep well. Eat healthy and properly in the right amount. Get enough exercise. Stay awake at school. Pay attention. Take a little bit of notes on important stuff, but not much. Don't piss off your professors. Don't get in legal trouble. Don't get stuck outside your country. Don't do anything that can jeopardize you being able to physically go to school. Don't take things too seriously. Don't stress out. Relax. Take it easy. Go to class. Listen. Stop worrying about stuff. Take the test. Don't worry about the test until you're taking the test. And then don't worry about it. Just do it. Answer what you answer. Whatever grade you get, that's your grade. Worrying about it's not going to make a difference. If you did bad on the test and it's a sign that you don't know the stuff, not that you just like didn't know the word, but like if you really don't know the stuff, study it on your own in your free time. Oh yeah, andrewhutchings.org for consultations, tutoring, coaching, medical information, but not medical advice. But remember, it's not medical advice if I don't tell you to do it. And my book on tendinitis is for sale on Amazon, on Barnes & Nobles, and lots of websites. It's called A Systematic Guide to Defeating Tendinitis.